Now, once we're in this position, we want to start going into a turning escape. All right, so from here, we thumb post at our opponent's knee or shin. Oftentimes the shin's a bit harder to access, so we usually point at the, go at the level of the knee first. I'll always point my toes to deny the initial heel hook. And now from here, I go into a turning escape like so. Once I'm in this position, if you guys can go down to the shin, that's great. If not, we're gonna stay at the knee. Now, from here, I'm gonna lift my hips up off the mat. I do a front pommel where my heel comes towards me and up and over, and we end up in this position here. Once we're here now, I like to transfer down to the ankle and do a same back step. Now, I had some people ask why I prefer locking my legs or unlocked legs. You can do it with unlocked legs as well, there's no problem with that. I prefer locked legs. My opponent sometimes will try to scoop into this leg, and if I feel my opponent scoop into this leg, you know, the wedging backtake can sometimes get messed up. All right, so then what I do here, start scooping it, I would start inserting cross faces. If I feel my opponent goes for a strong hook on my leg, I insert a cross face, I point my knee towards my opponent, and I can start backstepping this leg, flattening my opponent out and going back into a pass, rather than trying to go for the wedging backtake. So I had a few people ask that. I just prefer the locked legs. It buys me some time to insert that cross face if I need to. But now from here, same idea. We roll towards the legs, feet come down towards the mat, pointing off to one side, hip and trap, inserting our hook, and now from here, we successfully taking our opponent's back in that high ball ride. If there is an issue of sometimes your opponents jump to the opposite side, it's a great counter. So with either of the moves that we just went over, it doesn't matter. We go for the wedging backtake. From here, we stepped our leg in front. One thing I did want to mention real quick is if you guys face someone grabbing this leg, okay, like when you insert your cross face, it's very important to not just try to turn against it. You can kind of hurt yourself. So what we do is we anchor this cross face. I point my knee towards my opponent first, and then I can kick straight back. Okay, so don't try to turn into it. It's going to be somewhat, you know, there's going to be some pressure on your hip and knee. So we just anchor our cross face. We point our knee towards our opponent's head, and then we can kick straight back. So there's none of that pressure. But now we roll into the legs. We got to this position, but he did a good job of jumping to this side. The danger now, all right, is not only are there leg lock dangers or leg lock entries. Also, if he inserts this hand in front, he can end up in a top side half guard. So jump over, exactly, half guard or 3/4 mount, he ends up in top position. So when we feel this, we have to insert a reverse tight waist. So let's just get to the wedging backtake part. From here, we do a wedging backtake. My left hand, which was on one side, reaches around to the far side now. From this position now, I'm gonna look to free my right leg and insert a left hook here. There's sometimes, it's opportunistic, but sometimes you guys can grab a near side arm like so. But the idea here is now, once I have this reverse tight waist and I have a second hook in, I'm gonna fall back down, bring my opponent back into this position. Once we're here, same idea where I'm looking to throw the second hook in or end up in that high ball ride. So now from here, off of the wedging backtake, just move to the center. We just end up in this position. We roll. He jumped to the opposite side. Notice how my left hand denies my opponent's his own left hand from coming in. So when I'm here, I want to be sucking weight back. I free my right leg first and insert a second hook. The reason I want to free my right leg is so I can build height in case there's a scramble. All right. So from here, once I have this position, sometimes you will be able to get this arm. It's not all the time. All right. Like right now, I can't. But we want to bring our opponent backwards. And it's very important that I control the top hip. If I don't control the top hip, he's gonna over-rotate. Go back. Just rotate away from me. No, just roll. Exactly. Yeah. If I can't control the top hip, he over-rotates. Ends up in top position. So, come back. I just make sure that I control my opponent's top hip. All right, so from here, I control the top hip the entire time. From here, I can start throwing in my second hook. All right?